Hello guys, and welcome back to another random pickup video. Normally I would have a different angle for it, but this is the second time I had to record this because the first one, it didn't go out so well because the angle that I had it on was kind of shit. But yeah, we're gonna move on from that because I don't think it was that great to begin with due to the fact that it kept focusing in and out, and no one likes that. No one likes it when your audio or video equipment keeps shittering out like that, and also moving around just like this, and it really bugs people. But anyways, we're going to move on from that and go on to the game collection pickup update, whatever. I just like to call it a little update on the game collection, and we're going to start off with Nintendo because right here is this little pile. This is actually one of the only systems I actually got on. Mostly Nintendo consoles and mostly Sony. So we're going to start off with Nintendo first. First off, with the Super Nintendo, we have Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. I actually had this game on the Virtual Console, but I never had a physical copy of this. I had the physical copy for 1 and 2, but not this one. And FYI, this one is not as good. It's a good game, keep this in mind, it's really good. It's not as good as the other two. Personally, my favorite out of the Donkey Kong Country SNES trilogy is the second one. Third one's on the very bottom, aka the third one. Second game, and the last game for the Super Nintendo, is The Great Circus Mystery, starring Mickey and Minnie. Also known as Disney's Magical Quest 2. I have the first one for the Super Nintendo, and I actually really liked that game as a kid. I never had the sequel. I actually didn't even know there were sequels of this game. Until I looked them up online, I saw there were sequels. And luckily this one was cheap, so I decided to buy that. And it's really good. It's a really good sequel. Except the problem is it's kind of easier. But at the same time, it's not bad though. It's really enjoyable though. If you have an emulator or anything like that, get Disney's Magical Quest. It's actually good because Capcom, back in their prime, made it. And with that out of the way, let's move on to the handheld ones. Starting off with the DS, Contact. Now, I actually had owned Contact once upon a time, but I ended up selling it because I needed money and new games were coming out. I regret selling it because this game was really fun whenever I played it. And yeah, it was published by Atlas, but it was actually made by Grasshopper Interactive, or manufacturer. And I think also Marvelous? Yeah, Marvelous Interactive. See, right there, Marvelous. And it doesn't say Grasshopper, but it does say that right down there as Grasshopper. Anyways, things you won't find in Contact: a dull moment, normalcy, a guy with spiky hair and or amnesia, dramatic monologues, the same battles you've been fighting since the 16-bit era. But Contact, I like playing games like Final Fantasy VI, Super Mario RPG, and other games that were from the 16-bit era. Chrono Trigger 2. And the things you will find in Contact: monkeys, cosmic terrorists, powerful attack stickers. Okay, so we're going to sticker star material. Fishing, cooking, humor. Define humor. Fun with Nintendo Wi-Fi, which is now disconnected. Deeper meaning in life. Results may vary. Costumes that increase your power and make you more fun to be around. So having a Deadpool costume makes me more fun to be around, even though people were slaughtered mercilessly. Okay, moving on. To the 3DS, we actually have two of them, and people are going to be really angry with me with the first one, which is Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. Now, I'm not gonna say what I said about Birthright. If you want to know more about that, go watch the last game pickup video. However, I will say that I did not purchase this game at all. I never once put money into this. The only reason why I got this was because one of my friends at the college was like, do you want this game? I just finished playing it and I don't really like it that much anymore. So I said, yeah, I'll take it off your hands. Free. So I got this game for free. So now I don't have to go and buy it. It's kind of pointless because you can buy this on Birthright and vice versa. And also the third DLC, which I don't know if I'm ever going to get or not. But I'm going to move on from this topic very slowly by showing off another game, which is Return to Populocrois, a Story of Seasons fairy tale, otherwise known as Rune Factory Stories of Seasons edition. Now, Populocrois, no one really knows what that series is. I don't think... Hell, the only one that I have that relates to Populocrois is the game for the PSP, which I showed off way earlier with the collection video. But I will say this about Return to Populocrois. It is interesting, but in my opinion, it will not be as good as Rune Factory. I was going to say Harvest Moon. Story of Seasons actually does a really good job of doing Harvest Moon, because Harvest Moon now kind of sucks. But yeah, Return to Populocrois. If you want a better version of it, just get Rune Factory. Any one of them, except for Tides of Destiny for PS3. That one is bad. And also, we're going to move on to the Wii, which is the only one I got, which is Super Mario All-Stars. If you can see, Nintendo Selects. Nintendo is actually having one of those, not polls, but having one of those epiphanies that they need to put more games for $20. This game was one of them. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Pikmin 3, Mario 3D World. Just basically all the good games for the Wii and Wii U. And I think the reason why I got this is because I have this game for the Super Nintendo. And it wouldn't hurt to actually get this game, because it actually includes Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3, and Mario Brothers Lost Levels, which is one of the hardest Mario games ever. And yeah, you can actually play with the Wiimote. See, look, even has the Super Nintendo box on there. Oh, well, I will say this, though. If you want a good collection of games and you never really experienced Mario All-Stars, get this version. You will not be disappointed. And moving on from the Wii is the Wii U, which is Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. One of my favorite Twilight Princesses. My God, I'm tired. One of my favorite Zelda titles. However, the only problem I have with it is that sometimes the brightness is too much. Like, they put too much brightness in this, which I know you can easily fix with the brightness settings, but the only cool thing about it is that they added something new to it, which was the Cave of Shadows, aka using the Wolf Link amiibo, which is good. I would highly recommend using that. Also, they done something with the Zelda amiibos. They made, I think it was with Link and Toon Link, you get more arrows, or refill on arrows. Zelda and Sheik refill your hearts, and Ganondorf makes you take double damage. So, if you want a hard challenge, do that. That's all I'm going to say to it. But also, this will never be as good as Wind Waker HD. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Twilight Princess. I love you, but you're not as good as Wind Waker HD. Wind Wakery HD. Pokken Tournament. And also, that little card, if I can pull it out. There it is. I'm not going to take this out of its sleeve, because you can just read it from this. Yeah. And this is the Shadow Mewtwo, which is not as good as Gengar. Anyways, moving on. Whenever I saw Pokken Tournament, I swear to God, I thought this was the dumbest concept I have ever heard. Until I looked it up and I played it at the college. Because the college has a Wii U, and so I brought this game. I played it. I immediately fell in love with it. Also, I like Pokemon, but I'm not the biggest fan of Pokemon. Like, if I had to say one good Pokemon game, it has to be either the Gen 3 or Gen 1. But I will say this, though. This game is still enjoyable. It's fun. It's fun. It's really good, and this actually does work. The 2-player multiplayer on local battle. This is actually good. If you hear differently, they're wrong. But with that out the way, let's just move on to another thing. Another bundle, which is now the Sony bundle. Which is all the games I got for the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, all 4 of them, except for the handhelds. Starting off with Spider-Man for the PlayStation. And made by Neversoft, published by Activision. I did not really hear much about this game until Chaos and a few other people actually told me about it, and they were playing it via emulator. this game doesn't look bad. Like, I've seen gameplay of it and I've seen videos about it. It looks fun. But I'm probably won't... I didn't get into the hang of it because I didn't have a PlayStation 1. Now that I have a PS2 that I can use and a PlayStation 1 memory card, I can actually get back to the games I never really touched as a kid. This was one of them. And to those that actually recommend this game to me, thank you very much. I now have a classic. And now we're going to move on to PlayStation 2, which is Dark Watch. And notice something that's Capcom and High Moon Studios, the people that did the Transformers games and for Activision, also the Deadpool game. Now, the only reason why I got Dark Watch was because I heard from a lot of people that this game was really good. It's a good shooter for the PlayStation 2, has good graphics, and most of all, it's actually one of those original IPs from Capcom that was actually really good. Maybe will this be a Let's Play of mine in the future? Maybe, who knows? But time will tell in the future. Gun for the PlayStation 2. And another thing that's right here, Activision, Neversoft, another game that they've collided with, or another project they collided with. And also, another thing I forgot to mention with Spider-Man, these are the same people that made the Tony Hawk games. Same publisher. And also, I heard this game was actually really fun. I've seen gameplay of it, I've seen reviews, and they were all positive. Although I don't know if the PlayStation 2 version is good. I got it because I don't have any PS2 games. If I had to look at my collection, I think I have like 32 games? I don't know, I lost count at this point. But yeah, I actually really need to get this series, or this game, because I heard it was really fun, has a lot of good voice acting in it. But if I ever decide to do a Let's Play of this, I would probably stick with the 360 version. Nothing against the PlayStation 2, just because I want it to look at least a little bit better when it comes to quality. And moving on to the only PlayStation 3 game, Just Cause 2. Oh my. What can I say about Just Cause 2? It is really good, really fun, and if Michael Bay made a video game or series, this is what it could be and what it should have been. Although I will say this, the only reason why I like this series in general is because of the exploration and the collectibles you could find. That's the one reason why I liked Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4, but mostly 3. And also for this one, you can actually blow shit up, which is really fun and enjoyable. And also, you can actually use a grappling hook. I call it the hook shot because that's the same thing that Link used. And I'm sorry if you hear like that. That's my chair. There's nothing I can do about that. But yeah, this is actually a good game. Really enjoyable. The series as well, it's really good. Most of the point that if we move on to PlayStation 4, I got Just Cause 3. Now, Just Cause 3 is the same thing as 2, but they improved so much. Instead of you grappling with that, you can actually tether items together, which is fun and enjoyable. And yeah, I've been playing this game too much. A lot, actually. And that's all I've been doing. It's not even bothering with the story. I've just been liberating provinces. Then again, that's like the one thing you should do in order to like not deal with so many enemies. Let's move on with that, because I think talk about Just Cause is actually just bleh. Resident Evil 6 Remastered, also known as Resident Evil Giraffe Getting Blown by a Very Flexible Woman. I've heard so many bad things about this game. I've heard so many mixed things. Barely any good. But from what I've played and experienced, the game's not too bad. It's not the best Resident Evil, that being 4. But overall, this game is not bad at all. It could have been better. It could have been... Yeah, it just could have been better, but Capcom decided to fuck that up somehow. But the 60 frames per second is not bad. That's actually really good, in my opinion. And actually a good remaster for PlayStation 4. Don't get it for Xbox One. Xbox One is terrible, even though, sadly enough, I own an Xbox One. Samurai Warriors 4 and Samurai Warriors 4 Empires. These two are put together because Dom recommended this series to me. Fuck you. Okay, fuck you. But in all seriousness, this actually is a really good series. This is one of those series that I never expected to enjoy so much. However, I don't know about the co-op, though. I've never experienced, though, so I need to play this game a little bit more, and then I'll try out the co-op. So, yeah. I will do that sometime in the near future. Senran Kagura Estival Versus, also known as Titties Galore. But I did an unboxing of this game in particular. I will link that down there in the little description box. But also, this is, as you plainly can see, this is actually the cover, the reversible art. Because inside, there's that. Which is not bad. It's not bad, though. I actually really enjoy it. But this just reminds me so much of Shinobi Versus for the Vita. Tom Clancy's The Division, or I'll just call it The Division. This game, from what people have told me from the very beginning with the beta, it's really fun, really enjoyable, but the only problem is that you should not play this single or by yourself. Single, solo, single player. Don't just play it with friends. Playing it with friends would be a hell of a lot better. That's just me in my entirety, but yeah. Any game that requires you to use internet access, play with friends. That's all I gotta say. The Witcher 100 Night. This game was actually one of the sleeper hits on the PlayStation 3, but it wasn't as good though. It got mixed reception from critics, but people who got the game for themselves, they actually really enjoyed it. aka user scores on Metacritic. And this is actually the reverse cover art, because if you could see from the inside, this is what it looks like on the outside. Just like the PlayStation 3 one, but in my opinion, this is a hell of a lot better. And also, the art for it is really good. I'm not gonna lie. The game is really good. The art for it's really good, but the story can be kind of mixed. But anyway. But before I actually end off this video, there's actually a little segment that I'm actually gonna do. I actually made a little poll on Twitter to ask you to see if I can actually do this little segment, and the majority of you said yes. This little segment I like to call is the games I actually really enjoyed playing in March. And this is how the rules work. They have to be games I purchased in March. It could be released in any time. Example, if the game was like released in the past, like in the Super Nintendo games, or it could be games that were like released a few months ago, I can actually use those. Secondly, it cannot be a game that I played in the past. Like, this is an example of games I wouldn't cover. This wouldn't be, and this wouldn't be. HD remasters will be out the window. Although I did have fun playing this game, it won't count though because it's not a new game. It really isn't. And some people are going to defend it by saying it has some new content, but it doesn't really count because it's a game that I've played in the past. And third, it's a game that, if these games on here are games I played for multiple hours, the maximum or minimum will be 2. 2 hours is the minimum mark. With that said, let's move on. The game that I played, or games that I played and enjoyed throughout the entirety of March. The starters, Just Cause 3. I would say Just Cause 2, but I didn't really play Just Cause 2 all that much. I played the third one a little bit more. Liberating provinces is so much fun. Blowing shit up, making it look like a Michael Bay movie is really, really enjoyable. However, there are 2 things that ruin it for me. Number 1, the frame rate chugged a lot. It lagged so much that it just didn't look that great. It just went back to PS2, PS3 quality. I mean, come on, we live in an age where graphics and all the processing power is strong. We need to make it strong. But, I don't know, the frame rate kind of really chugged along, which causes the second problem to happen, which is the game crashed. This game has crashed on me 3 times. Going on 4, but the game kind of saved itself somehow. However, that's not really bad for the game crashing, because the game automatically saves all the progress you have done. So, if you saved a province, and you moved along in the game crash, that province is saved, you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, this game has a lot to do, but at the same time, dealing with game bugs like that, but not too bad. Yeah, this game could have been a whole lot better, but it's still enjoyable. It's still fun to play. And with that, let's move on. The other game that I played in March, which was Pokken Tournament. Now, Pokken Tournament, like I said, is one of those games the concept I thought was really bad or kind of stupid because it's Pokemon in a Tekken environment, but the game is really enjoyable. It is really fun, and the first experience I've ever played this game was with that, the two-player, the local battles. Now, a lot of people are going to say that they have problems with it. They're usually lying. Whenever I play this game, two-player, I had no problem with it whatsoever. Plus, that little tablet is actually really good to use. Because if you don't want to look at the TV, you can just look at the little tablets. However, the battery life will die on that, and meh. The only complaint that I would actually have with this game is that the game, it doesn't have that much Pokemon in it, like the ones that you would expect in it. Like, it has Blaziken in it, it has Machamp in it, because you can say that that's fine because they're fighting types. I was expecting this game to have a lot more fighting types in this, because if you look on the back of this, you see Lucario, Pikachu again as Pikachu Libre, Gengar, Charizard. I mean, where's Greninja? Yeah, where's Greninja? Where's more of the fighting types? I know Greninja, the reason why I use him, because I actually use him a lot in Smash Brothers, but I was expecting to have them have more fighters. I mean, what the fuck is that? A Chandelier? Chandelier? No, who would use you? Nobody. But some people do, because online. But anyways, this game is still enjoyable, despite that little complaint that I have with it. The game that takes second is Senran Kagura Estival Versus. Now, I know what the majority of you are going to say. This game is titties galore. Look at the titties. They bounce up and down. Truth be told, that the fan service was not the reason why I enjoyed it. Funny that I say this, I know. And I do have a gripe against fan service, because if you show too much fan service, it turns people off to it. Just in some cases, but I didn't mind the fan service that much. The reason why I enjoyed this game was because of the gameplay itself and the characters that I played as. Morokumo is a really good character to use. Asuka is a really good character to use. Even Yumi's a good character to use, because of their fighting styles and how you use them. However, the second reason why I like this game is because of its story. And you would expect this game to be very lighthearted, but later on towards the end, this game becomes incredibly depressing. And if you don't want spoilers to this, I will put the time code or timestamp where you can skip it to move on. Because, yeah, spoilers inbound. The reason why the story gets good, because it goes from lighthearted to very serious and depressing. AKA, people that died come back from the dead. And it holds like this powerful, like this little powerful but also very simplistic moral, which is, sure, there are people you don't want to come, like you don't want to die, you want them to live on forever, but you have to let them go. You have to move on and accept that they'll no longer be a part of this world anymore. And the ending shows two girls that would actually had to say goodbye to their big sister again as she ascends to heaven. That is sad, but at the same time, it gives players the meaning that you would have to say goodbye to them one of these days, and say goodbye to them and have no regrets of them going. Because, yeah, you don't want to say goodbye to someone, but have regrets of them. But still, this game is really fun and really enjoyable, but it's not my number one pick for this of March. It really isn't, and I will actually show to you what my pick for number one is. Now, my number one pick is actually a digital game, and I know I did not show it in the original run of this because some digital games are not meant to be shown. And if I could, then this list will be entirely fucking long. But there's one game that topped Senran Kagura for me, and a lot of people that know me via Skype and YouTube will know exactly what the game I'm talking about is. My number one pick for this month is the game that I really enjoyed playing, is Stardew Valley. Now, I know I don't have a little recording set up for this, but bear this in mind, I do have some recording software, but I need to know how to use it a little bit more. But the reason why I'm putting Stardew Valley as my most enjoyed game of this month is because there is so much to do in this game. There's so much to do that does not involve farming, if you can believe that. This game takes a lot of elements from Harvest Moon, but it takes a lot of some elements from Rune Factory, River King, just mostly games that were made by Natsume. And this was done by one guy. This one guy. Believe it or not, this guy, Concerned Ape, or Eric Barone, this guy, all on his own, this guy alone took one game, this one game that he spent 4 years making. He put a lot of his heart and soul into it, the visuals, the music, everything about this game. He took all of that love and he put it into this game. Now, there's a lot of people that I respect in the game industry, but for the people that actually take all their time and love into one little game, and it could be just one game, it could be a team of 7 people. That's the reason why I like Bastion. 7 people put a lot of love into and inspiration to that game. The person that made Cave Story put a lot of heart and soul into that game. And the person that made this game, I give him props. And for those that do not have this game, I would highly recommend you pick this game up. You will not regret the purchase. You will not regret the time you spent in Stardew Valley. Hell, I should know. I spent, if you can see right there, I'm going to zoom in on that. If you can actually see that, there's like a lot of people I know. If you can see how many hours I've spent in this game, I've spent 12 hours into it. And I'm still moving on with this. I'm still going to play this game till I'm done with it. And when will I be done with this? Who knows? Because I've seen people that spent hours upon hours. The most I've seen on my friends list is 120, 180 hours. That is a holy shit. But yeah, this concludes my segment of the games I've enjoyed in March. This has been Lev Dalshan, the Amish Gamer. And the one game I enjoyed the most was Stardew Valley. Then again, it's like I'm sucking the dick of it so much. But this game is so enjoyable and fun, and you should go pick it up. This game should be on every single console as is, besides Steam. It should be on PS3, or it's just PSN, Xbox Live, and also the eShop. It should be on there. But yeah, this has been Levy Alshine. Keep on showing all this. Goodbye for all I do. Most importantly, I will see you in the next video, whenever I decide to do it, if Stardew Valley didn't kill me. Which, speaking of which, I'm actually going to go back to playing Stardew Valley as we speak. So, until I meet again, goodbye.